as you may know, I only watch the finest of films. And I think the genre that has the best movies is science fiction.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
It's one of the most sophisticated and intelligent genres in film. And so today, I'm going to be telling you what my top 5 science fiction movies are. I, as well as many other white men, enjoy Christopher Nolan films. And while I don't think Inception is his best movie, I would say it's his most ambitious. This might be the most visually stunning Christopher Nolan film. The hallway fight scene is absolutely fantastic. And the biggest complaint for this movie is that it's complicated. And I mean, I guess it's complicated. If you're a giant idiot! I am of course kidding. It's perfectly reasonable to have to watch this movie multiple times to understand what is going on. All I'm saying is that if you really pay attention, you might save yourself a rewatch. I'm not trying to imply that you wouldn't want to rewatch this, but you get the idea. And another common complaint is that it's too plot heavy. We don't really get to know a lot about the characters. And if a movie's plot heavy and the plot is really awesome, then isn't that a plus? In conclusion, Inception is absolutely fantastic, and I would recommend you check it out whenever you get the chance. Terry Gilliam is slowly becoming one of my favorite directors. He has made some of my favorite movies of all time, whether it be Monty Python and the Holy Grail, 12 Monkeys, or Brazil. He has one of the most unique visions in cinema. Now, 12 Monkeys is not Terry Gilliam's best film. Brazil is. But it is his best science fiction film. Brazil you could classify as a science fiction movie, but what I'm looking for in a science fiction film, 12 Monkeys has, and Brazil doesn't. I would consider Brazil to be more of a fantasy movie, rather than a science fiction movie. This movie is honestly just great. And it's one of the few movies that I've seen where the time travel actually kind of makes sense. Brad Pitt got a lot of attention for this movie, but I think Bruce Willis really just steals the show. This movie has plenty of style, but it also has plenty of substance. You can tell just by watching this that Terry Gilliam is a person who is born to direct movies. 12 Monkeys is funny, creative, and extremely smart, and I would recommend it to almost everyone. Moving on to number 3. Ridley Scott's Alien has always been one of my favorite films of all time. His masterful direction, H.R. Giger's creature design, and the amazing set design makes this film just an absolute masterpiece. I would recommend watching a video on the way Alien uses quote-unquote sexual horror in this movie, because once you start thinking about it, it gets really disturbing really fast. Everything in this movie just feels so well thought out and real. The crew's dynamic feels real. I just understand how they work and how they would function together. The acting is oh so absolutely incredible, especially from Ian Holm. Rest in peace. On a second watch especially, you notice just really little things in his performance. I'm serious, this performance is absolutely legendary. You can just tell that so much thought went into every single shot of this beautiful looking film. The film just has such a hypnotic feel to it. It just really engrosses you in this universe. And I know plenty of people have already said this, but the creature design for the alien in this movie is easily the best creature design for an alien in any movie ever. And that is not just my opinion, that is an objective fact. I mean, unless you count the thing. Pacing is perfect, the acting is perfect, the directing is perfect. I would honestly say that this is a perfect movie. With all that being said, let's move on to number 2. Blade Runner 2049 is a visual and technical masterpiece. Now, I appreciated the first Blade Runner. I thought it was good for what it was trying to be. But the second one is on an entirely different level of existence. This movie has some of the best cinematography I've ever laid eyes on, period. It's absolutely mind-blowing. This is easily one of the best movies of the decade. I also really enjoyed the love story between the main protagonist and his holographic girlfriend. And I think it goes without saying that all the actors did a fantastic job, because they did. The guy who directed this, Denis Villeneuve, is probably one of the best filmmakers working today. And I am extremely excited for his new movie coming out soon, Dune. I also like how this movie isn't just a reboot of the original Blade Runner. No, this actually adds to the story, to the world, to the characters. Blade Runner 2049 is the best movie of 2017, one of the best of the decade, and one of my favorite movies of all time. So definitely go check it out whenever you get the chance. And the greatest science fiction movie ever made is 2001: A Space Odyssey. I am of course joking. Let's get on to the real winner. And the greatest science fiction movie ever made is, you guessed it, Star Wars Lego: The Empire Strikes Out.
He's coming! He's coming! He's coming! Ah!
This movie is the definition of an absolute masterpiece. And it's probably the most underrated movie of all time. There are such subtle animation hints in this movie that really make you question reality. What is real? What is love? What is life? What does it mean to die? These are all questions that Lego Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Out asks. There's just so much subtlety to this entire film that I couldn't even begin to start describing it in this small video. This movie isn't some pretentious garbage like 2001: A Space Odyssey. No, this is real filmmaking. This is filmmaking at its best. I don't want to go too into the theories that everyone has for this movie, because there are countless video essays describing the intricacies of this beautiful, beautiful film. All I will say is that the way Darth Vader is portrayed in this movie is honestly really disturbing. He has such a terrifying and commanding presence. Not only is this the best Star Wars movie, not only is this the best science fiction movie, but this just might be the greatest movie ever made. This movie also easily has the best animation I've ever seen. Well, what more can I really say except go check out this masterpiece. And of course, Lego Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Out gets 1000% toothpaste meter.